Hey, what is up everyone? This is Gosu here from Serene. So today I got this video right here coming up on a channel today. But before we even delve into that one, I want to ask you quickly if you have filled out a form in my previous video, the video that I literally exposed myself for maybe the first time in a while. Alright, so if you haven't filled out a form in that video yet, then quickly head over straight to that video. Probably it's showing up over here. Just go ahead, watch that video, fill out a form, and let me have access to it to help you in this graphic designing journey. So without wasting much time, let's jump into today's video. Alright, you're welcome back. So when you open your Pixellab application, this is going to be the interface that you are going to see, and probably you have to delete that text. After that, we prepare the background for our work. So I'm just going to import a background which I downloaded earlier on. So I'm going to leave the link in the video description so that you download all of these resources right away. Good. So when you import the shape or the background, just make it squared like this. After that, you make it fill the entire working area because you're using a square sized working area. Okay, after that, you just lock the layer and you import a shape. So the shape that you just imported, you are going to add a gradient effect to it. So just watch me as I add the gradient effect to this particular shape right away. Okay, so you tap on the plus sign and look at what you're going to have over here. Okay, you have two slides right over here. So the one at the white must be at the middle, and you make it transparent just like this. Okay, and after that, you play with the second handle and you tap on OK, and when it is okay for you, then you leave it like that. So just have a look at it. If you watch my previous video, I did the same thing in a previous video, so it should probably help you over here, I guess, right? So I'm just playing around with the transparent area at the middle so that we get a perfect look. So after that, I can go ahead and lock the layer as well, right? So the next thing we have to do is to make sure that our shape is being positioned at the center of everything. Okay, after that, we can go ahead and put in other things that you want to add, like another shape that we're probably going to bring to the bottom of the work. Okay, so let's do that quickly. So you just have to put it over there, and once you are okay with it, then you proceed. So that is it. You just have to import another shape again, and this shape probably going to give it color red because we want to use red in this design. But if you want to use a different color, you can use it. And this one, we have to position it at the bottom, right? Put it down because you're going to put a text on it, and that text basically is going to be the handle of the association or whatever we are designing for. Okay, so after that, you just lock the remaining layers and we proceed from there. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to import my other elements that I want to use. I mean the resources that I want to use. I just have to go ahead and import them into the design because literally we want to prepare the background for the work before we proceed. So we are literally going to design everything from the top to the bottom. So we're starting with the logo first. So the associations logo of whichever brand that you are designing for, you need the logo at the top. So we are actually putting the logo at the top right now, and after that we go ahead and input other terms like so and so. Like this one, we're going to input a text like Pensa KNUST. So once you type in the text over there, you just have to actually reduce the size of the text, right? Provided you're using the right font already, you just go ahead and reduce the size of the text. But if you're not using the right font, that means you have to change the font first before you proceed to reduce the size of the text. Okay, so when you reduce the size of the text, you actually have to bring it back, place it at the center, all right, and it should be right beneath the logo that you input at the top, right? So that's what we are doing currently over here, and let's see how we're going to move ahead with the next step quickly. So the next test that we are going to enter is present. So pencil KNUSC presents. Okay, so basically that's what you're going to enter over here, and we pick it up from there quickly. So I just have to move it down to the bottom, right? Not the bottom, but it should be beneath the pencil KNUSC. And after that, we have to increase the spacing between each letter, right? So that it will look kind of nice. That's what we are doing currently. Just increase the line spacing between each letter, right? So after that, we use our relative position tool to put it at the middle, just like that. So at this point, we need to enter the other test that we have as well. So in this case, we're going to enter laugh, because we want to do something about laugh summit. So we're going to enter a test like laugh, and for this laugh, we're going to use a font like Gelato Soft Free Regular, and I'm going to leave a link in the video description for you to download the font, right? And if you already have access to my font package, you probably need not to worry. You just have to go and search for this font, which is Gelato Soft Free Regular. You have access to it there. Okay, so we just have to increase the size of it and also put it at the middle. It's kind of the main traction for this flyer, so we have to make it kind of bold, right? So the next test that we have to enter is summit. So we're going to enter like laugh summit. So this summit, we are going to use a different font for it. Okay, we are not going to use the same Gelato Soft for the summit, but we're going to use some sans serif font for it, just to make it look good. So I'll go with Poppins Black. All right, and let's see how it's going to look. And I equally have to increase the size of it just a little bit to see how it will fit under the laugh, right? It shouldn't be bigger than the laugh. It should be just under the laugh. Perfect, right? So that's what we are doing currently, and after that we proceed with other things that we need to do, right? So right now, once you are done with that, you can just enter the other test, which is 2022. So we have Lab Summit 2022, and for this 2022, we are going to add a background to it. Okay, and the background, we are going to make it a gradient one for that matter. So just watch me as I add a new gradient to this one as well, right? So one part we're going to make it red and one part kind of orange. All right, so that's what we're going to use as the gradient. And the gradient, we are not going to use this format. Okay, we're going to change how it is being oriented. Okay, so the red has to go to our left side, and the kind of orange has to go to our right side. So let's do that quickly and see how it's going to be. Good. So after this, we also have to reduce the size of the text and also probably increase the line spacing between each letter, and probably also change the font style. All right, we change the font. So let's use one of the sans serif fonts for this one as well. So I'm just going to search through my font and see if I can get Montserrat. Okay, it can either be Montserrat bold or semi bold here. So I think I'll go with Montserrat bold, and I have to reduce the size of this to the extent that it becomes like smaller, like that of the summit. Okay, we are going to rotate it. Once we rotate it, we want it to be in alignment with the summit over there, so that everything will look popping at that point. Okay, because we want the traction. If somebody sees the flyer, the person should focus directly onto the last summit, right? So that's what we are doing over here currently. I've just rotated the text and have to place it to be kind of having the same height as the letter T at the end of the summit. All right, the summit here. So let's play around with that quickly and see what we can do. I think we are on point so far. So we make a duplicate of that, and this time around we are going to enter the theme. All right, so we just type theme and make it capitalized Then we rotate it back to normal, which is going to be like horizontal one, and we push it down. All right, we have to push it down to where the white shape is, because that's where we are going to put our theme for this program. Good. So I'm just using the position tool to move it to the extent that it fits perfectly onto exactly what we want. Okay, so let's put it over there and see how best we can play around it. It's pretty cool, guys. So what we are going to do right now is to enter the main theme for the program, right? So the theme is let love be shared among us. Okay, that's cool, right? So let's tap on OK, and we have to reduce the size of the text and also change the font. Okay, we don't want to use that default font, so we probably have to change it to anything maybe related to Montserrat or any other sans serif font out there that we prefer to use in this design. So basically you don't have to use like so many fonts in one particular design. You just have to use 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think 3 should be enough. If you're using number of fonts like that, 3 should be enough. Okay, so I think this one I just made it made it bold so that it can just look like the other text on the flyer. Okay, since we need just a sans serif font, this works perfectly over here, right? So the next thing that we have to do is to enter a shape, give it a gradient, the gradient we used already, and after that we make the edges kind of curvy a bit by increasing the radius of it a bit. I think 5% is okay. And after that we have to play with the size and go ahead to add shadow effect to it. And by now I hope you already know how to add this kind of shadow effects to your work whenever you're working on something, because I literally made a video on how to do that. I think probably should be seeing the video on top of your screen. I mean the card section, it should pop up over there right away. Okay, so let's just play around with that shadow and see how best we can make it transparent and look popping like real shadow, not just anything. I think this should be okay, right? And after this we have to use the grid. All right, so we're just using the grid tool to align the text, the shape over here. Okay, we're going to add a texture to this particular shape that we are adding, which is a white shape. We're going to add a texture to it, and this texture is going to be the love, a love icon that we're going to add to it. And we probably have to position it at the middle, because we'll be writing some text at both sides of this shape right away. So we have to put it at the middle so that our work will look nice, right? So I think right now we just have to select the shape and proceed with whatever we want to do. Okay, which is like adding a texture to it. So I'm going to pick that love icon or image from my gallery right away and apply it as a texture to this work. And good, I think I got it right here. So I'm just going to enable it and it will appear in this shape. Since the shape is having a red color, you are not seeing the love image, so we're going to change the color to white. The main color of the shape, you're going to change it to white, and you will be able to see the love, this one showing over there. Good, I think this is kind of visible enough for you to see, right? So basically that is it. We just have to play around it till we get something perfect like what we are looking for, and after that we can just position it well onto our flyer and we are good to go. So right now I just made a duplicate of the shape that we entered over there, because we're going to input some text on these shapes. Okay, we're going to input some text on these shapes, and beneath the shapes too we're going to enter some other text over there, right? Okay, So your alignment is something that you don't have to joke with. So that's what I'm doing currently. I just want to make sure that everything is being aligned properly over here, right? So right now we have to enter our other test, and probably you're going to enter Lab Summit, and we're going to put it over here onto the other, the first shape we input over there, the one we added a shadow to. So we just have to push down the shadow, the Lab Summit. We have to push it down and position it onto the shape, just like what I'm doing right here. Okay, you just have to be careful you do it the right way. Don't make it the opposite way. Good. I think this should be okay now, and we have to do the same thing to the other shape. Right, so the test that we are going to enter on the other shape probably going to be cocktail dinner. I hope you've all watched the video on the cocktail dinner flyer I designed, I think some days back. Yeah, if you check my previous video, you should see it. Okay, you should see it, the previous video before I literally show myself on the channel for the first time in a while. The video below that video will show you how to design this cocktail flyer, right? Cocktail dinner flyer. So right now we are just playing with the alignment stuff over here. It's not anything really difficult. Okay, I could have used the grid tool over here, but then I think I'm having a look at this straightforward, so I don't want to use the grid tool over there. Now what I'm going to do is to enter the test. If you have any other test that you are actually required to enter, you just enter the test over there and probably give it a preferable color, right? A color that you prefer. Just add that color to it, and of course the color must add something, some vibe to your work. Okay, so I'm just picking some random tests over here, and I'm just adding them up because I don't want to type anything like that again. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate this thing back again and change the alignment. So let's just do that quickly and we are good to go. Okay, so when you look at the main flyer, these are the things on it. Provided your client happen to give you all these details, you can actually use it, but I'm just using this test to represent whatever you have to put over there. Okay, and I hope you do understand what I'm doing over here currently. Okay, so this is the main flyer. When you look at it, this is it. This is how things are looking on it. All right, so I think this should actually help, right? So what we are going to do right now is to import maybe our love icon, right? We import our love icon and add it at the bottom left corner of the work. And after that, we also go ahead and add some things like cocktail and stuff onto the right hand side of the work as well. Good. I think this video is actually been helpful at this point, and I think you've really learned something. And you know what, I have a Telegram channel that can actually give you a lot of stuff that you need. Just go ahead, check the link in the video description. Just go through the video description up to the end and you're gonna see a link over there. Just use that link, join my Telegram channel and have access to a whole lot of stuff for free. And of course, if you want to reach out to me on Instagram, just check out my handle in the video description as well. Good, so we just added other elements over here, and I think left with one thing to add, which is like a glass of something. Yeah, so let's work on that as well. Then yeah, we can pretty much save it once we are okay, right? So I'm just going to pick up that last element right away and let's see what we can do. Good, so we have to reduce the size of it, and after that then we place it neatly, neatly and nicely at the right position. So after this, you are pretty much done. There's nothing more nothing less, right? You just have to enter the elements or the tests that your clients happen to provide you, right? So you do what your client actually wants. Okay, you are not going to enter your own tests and stuff over there, but you do what your client wants. And one thing that you can literally do is to also change the color of how your flyer looks like. Okay, so when you select the shape that we added a gradient to earlier, you can literally change the color of it, just like I have demonstrated in the other video I posted earlier, right? So what I'm going to do right now is to probably enter the association's handle, which is Pensa KNUSC, and after that we enter our regular social media icons, okay, which is the latest that I've just entered over there. And I'm going to use my special fonts, which is also part of the package I gave away for free. I mean the font package, over 4,000 plus font that you can actually access. Okay, so when you open, just search for icons and you're going to see the font over there. Okay, so it's the second to last, and when I pick it up, it's going to change into Facebook, Instagram, and we have this one, YouTube and Twitter over there. So we just have to bring it to the bottom of the work, and yeah, we are good to go. And I think at this point of the tutorial, you guys have learned something out of this video, and this is pretty much it. Okay, so the only thing that I am to show you right now is how you can change the look of your flyer. All right, I mean how you can change the color of it and see how other things can be. Okay, now before I even show you how to do that thing, there is this curvy, I don't know, you can see that like a folded part of a flyer at a corner, right? Now the ideal thing that I usually do is I use a PNG to achieve this effect, but I want us to practice something new today by doing everything from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to show you something over here. What I'm going to do is to add a shadow to this white shape I inserted. Okay, so when I add a shadow to it, I'm trying to make it to look like that kind of a folded edge, right? So I'm just giving this a shadow, and I'm going to put a shadow over there, right? So I'm going to play around this till I achieve a similar effect. Okay, so this is like doing the thing from scratch. Okay, you don't have to struggle to do it. Actually, you can get just you can get the PNG from the internet. Okay, I literally have one, but I don't want to use it in this video. Okay, you can just get a PNG and apply it, but it's also be good if you know how to do it from scratch. So you can do this. Okay, so this is it. Most people use Illustrator and Photoshop to achieve this effect, but I want us to also use our mobile phone to achieve this effect. That's why I'm actually doing it over here like this. Maybe I may make a full tutorial on how to do some of this stuff in Pixellab without necessarily having to go and download them and stuff like that. Okay, so I think this should be of help, right? So let's see what we can actually arrive at before we finish up with it. Then we go ahead and change the color of our work and see how the different look is going to be, right? So I believe if you are watching this from afar, or let's say you are watching this from a distance, it should tell you something like there's an effect happening over there, right? So the next thing that we are going to do right now is change the color of our work, which is the look of our work. So let's see. Good. So when you change it to red, this is how it's going to appear, and when you change it to, let's say, blue or any other color, you are going to see the difference as well. But I think I like the red. I don't know why, but I like the red. So let's change it to a different color and see. I think let's go with a blue, and let's see how it's going to be like. So this is how it's going to look like. You can actually experiment with other colors are available and see how the look is going to be. So pretty much it. I think you've actually enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next video. Don't forget to actually subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so that each and every time I upload a new video, you get to receive notification right away. This is also here, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bless up.